Kane Dreamwalker of Dreamwalker Wisdom here, and I'm going to talk to you very quickly about spirits, specifically the corporeal ones, or the ones that are anchored to bodies. Your body, right? Your spirit. What's it doing there? Well, Richard Gerber, a doctor who wrote a book called Vibrational Medicine, talked about an experiment that was done with a kind of photography that can see auras, the energy body. And what they did was they took pictures of embryonic lizards and seedlings or saplings of trees. And instead of seeing the little baby versions, they saw the full-grown versions of those things. That tells us that the spirit is the blueprint, the master code of what that thing is supposed to grow up to be. It is the truth of who and what you are supposed to grow up to be. And when it gets damaged or sick in some way, it starts sending bad messages into your physical form, which is why people feel so junky when they've been cursed, hexed, when they're dealing with past life trauma, when they're dealing with generational trauma, current life trauma, all kinds of trauma. It's not good. And it can really seep into your very DNA by way of injuring your spirit. So get to know your own soul, yourself, because that deep part of you is the truth of who and what you are. Thanks for stopping in. We're going to talk again next time about different kinds of spirits. Like and follow me, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Kane Dreamwalker here of Dreamwalker Wisdom, going to talk to you today about ghosts. 3 specific kinds. First one, that 3 o'clock in the morning, bang, 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 down the stairs because somebody slipped and died. Or walking through the living room and smelling Grandpa's pipe tobacco because he used to sit there every evening in his moment of zen and enjoy some black Cavendish. Those are called recordings, and that's when an event is so powerful that it gets embedded in reality. Then we have shells. Shells are the leftovers of someone's ego that gets stuck behind after they pass and their soul zips off to where it's supposed to go. Those are typically the grumpy ones, and they contain all of the messy parts of being a human. They're not the true soul, however, and that gets confused by a lot of untrained mediums and a lot of people who just don't know better. Easy way to tell the difference, though, is that they're the ones that have a bunch of flack to give you, right? Their message is about how they're not proud of the life choices you've made. Well, it doesn't matter. That's not actually your Aunt Edna. Then you've got very rare lost ones. That is when somebody, for one of a billion reasons, didn't actually cross over the way that they were supposed to. That doesn't happen very often, and it requires a very special kind of handling called psychopomp work, which we'll get into someday in the future. But that's it for today. Thanks for stopping in, like and follow me, and we'll talk more tomorrow. Take care. Hey there, Kane Dreamwalker here, and I'm going to talk to you today about ancestors. So that word gets thrown around a lot, and I think it's important to help people understand what that can mean. 3 basic categories. The first, ancestors of blood. Those are the ones that this body you are currently inhabiting is directly through familial ties related to. They're very good at helping with mundane problems. For instance, if you're having financial problems and you have a great-great-grandfather who was a brilliant banker, hit that guy up. Then we have ancestors that are adopted, and that can be any kind of group of spirits that we have formed a sort of familial-like bond with, who have taken us under their wing as protectors and watchers of sorts. And that can look like a lot of different things, right? The good folk, even nature spirits, might take us under our wing to teach us how to be more in tune or in touch with the energy that they represent. Then there's ancestors of order. For instance, if you are a Reiki practitioner, then the great Usui himself would be considered an ancestor of the Reiki order. And that would be a spirit that you can commune with, that you can reach out to and potentially get deep, powerful information and guidance from. So that's it about ancestors for today. Join me next time when we talk a little bit more about incorporeal spirits, spirits that have never been human before. Thanks for stopping in. Hey TikTok, this is Kane Dreamwalker. We're going to talk about some incorporeal spirits. And those are more spirits that have had an embodied experience. So one of flesh of some kind, could have been a tree. The first set are ascended masters. So those are people whose spiritual discipline took them to a height that once they left their body, they became something that's kind of in between being a spirit and not quite a deity. And there are magical traditions where when you are initiated, you will be introduced to sort of the master of that tradition, the spiritual overseer of that tradition. Then you've got hidden company. Those are spirits of practitioners who have chosen to stay in the spirit realm, have not been re-embodied yet, and like to hang around other practitioners. Sometimes they're supportive, sometimes they're just kind of cheerleaders, but those are the ones where if you're doing some spell work or magic work of any kind, some energy work, and it seems like there are other presences in the area that are just kind of hanging out, they're not really making a lot of attempt to like contact or interact with you, but they're there and they don't seem malevolent at all. That's normally the hidden company. Then you have once human deities. So Jesus is a really good example of a tale of somebody who was a physical body at one point, and after they died, they ended up ascending to what is essentially godhood. That is a once human deity. And that's going to be it for incorporeal spirits today. Thanks for stopping in. Follow me because next time we're going to talk about non-corporeal spirits, ones that were never people to begin with. Hey TikTok, Kane Dreamwalker here to talk to you about non-corporeal spirits. Non-corporeal spirits are ones that have never been incarnated in a body in the way that we could understand as people as having an incarnation. The first of those that are really good to bring up are the good folk or the Fae. They're so beyond us. They're like another species of energy beings, of spirits, that are kind of maybe even from another dimension that don't really, it's not even really part of ours. And the chances are that what we do know of them, they've probably given to us, and it's only about half true because that's how they do. Then there are spirits of place. The spirits of place are things like the spirit of your hearth, the spirit of your kitchen, the spirit of your entryway and exitway, the spirit of your yard, of your land. Those are spirits of place. And then you've got spirits of nature, which there's kind of a blurry line there between those spirits and what is a fae, what is one of the good folk versus a spirit that's like a little mud dude that you run into while you're sitting in the woods meditating. It can be kind of tough. My best suggestion is just accept it for whatever it says it is. Arguing with them won't get you anywhere, and it's not polite anyway. So that's going to be it for non-corporeal spirits today. There's more of it to get into next time. So like and follow me, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Hey TikTok, Kane Dreamwalker here to talk to you about non-corporeal spirits. And A non-corporeal spirit, again, is one that has not been incarnated in a way that we could understand as an incarnation. So the first there is going to be elementals. Those are the ones that we're evoking as practitioners when we're calling upon the four quarters or what have you. You know, that's your earth, your air, your fire, your water, and spirit for number 5 if you want to go for the whole pentangle. Then we have gods. Gods are these majestic, magnificently powerful, incredible energy beings who have no idea what it's like to human, right? They've never actually been down here as one of us. They've pretended a few times, Zeus, but they are in a league of their own. And different deities are going to respond to us differently, and our relationships to them throughout the ages are going to be varied depending on which one you're talking about. The main point is those are spirits that kind of thrive off of attention, if you will, and they need interaction with mortals, and they need our belief and our faith in order to kind of be fueled and in order to be at their strongest. And that's it about non-corporeal spirits. So thanks for popping in. Like and follow me for more talk about spirits coming up. Take care. Hey TikTok, Kane Dreamwalker here to talk to you guys more about spirits. Today we're going to get specifically into what do you do when you run into one in the wild, right? I love you guys. I love my pagan community. I love all y'all. Really though, we just got to start treating spirits like they exist. If I run into somebody on the street and I start talking to spirits in this like wildly overblown and fancy language with all these weird protocols, they're going to look at me like I've lost my mind. The bottom line is, all we need to do is be respectful and treat them just like you've met a new person in your life and you want to have a good, healthy communication with them. That brings me to my next point. Spirits have their own thoughts, their own feelings, and most importantly, their own agenda. Sometimes that agenda is very good. There are great benevolent spirits out there that are wanting to be very helpful. They can and will be very helpful. There are also ones that are kind of in the middle and ones that you definitely don't want anything to do with. And just like if you were to meet somebody off the street or at like a knitting club or whatever, you can't know that based off of the first conversation. So get to know them. Treat them like they're real. Apply the golden rule. Make good choices. And y'all will be great. Thanks for stopping in. Like and follow me, and we're going to talk more about spirits coming up. Take care. Hey there, Kane Dreamwalker here, going to talk a little bit more about encountering spirits in the wild. So, a couple of things to really keep in mind. First of all, you can ask them questions, right? What's your name is always a good place to start when you meet somebody new. Where are you from? What are you here for? Why are you reaching out to me? Why are you contacting me? Is this what you really look like? Stuff like that. Really, really great questions to ask. Keep in mind, you can tell spirits no. It's that whole like respect your elders thing that gets buried in our culture, right? Just because somebody's older doesn't mean that they're right or that they're smarter than you and deserve more respect than you. Just because somebody doesn't have a body, just because somebody's a lot deader than you are, doesn't mean you have to listen to them at all, ever. You can negotiate with spirits. Let them know what you are and are not willing to do with or for them. You can always hit the pause button on a relationship with a spirit and tell them, listen, I'm really sorry. I don't have the bandwidth right now to work with you, to have your energy in my life, but I will in the future, and I will let you know when. Or we can revisit this in a month. Things like that. Lastly, always, always, always run your encounter with the Spirit through all of your logic circuits, right? Sometimes people will externalize parts of themselves as spirits. They will experience things that they're struggling with, shadow pieces, as spirits. If a spirit is encouraging you to do something that could ever be harmful to you in any way, that is probably something that you should really be re-examining. It could be a spirit, because sometimes spirits are gnarly and they don't have our best interest, just like sometimes other people don't. But it could also be a part of yourself that needs to be unpacked. Using different kinds of divinatory systems as a validator is a great way to do this. And also having a good mentor or just a colleague or friend that you trust to talk to about your experience is a really important thing to have when working with spirits. Keep in mind that spirit work really rides a fine edge between magic and mental health. And we have to take very careful care of ourselves to make sure that we are on the right side of that line and that we are doing the best we can to remain healthy, hale, and whole. And that's going to be it for my mini series on spirits, kinds of spirits, and how to interact with them. Like and follow me, Dreamwalker Wisdom, so that you can learn more and so that I can get to see more of you and hopefully get to know some more of you. Take good care.